Right, here for another video. We're going to do these two, and then we'll try to see if we can get to this if we've got the time left. So we'll move that up there, and we'll open the green one first. All right, let's see what we got in here. These are pretty good hard cases. Haven't actually had one of these. I think they were just starting to use like the Ultra Pro decks back when I was playing. That's a pretty cool cat. The squirrel tokens, food, copy. That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll have to take one of these out of here. We'll put that there. We'll put it up there. Okay, let's see here what we got in this deck. That's kind of cool. But it is from a different company. But that's kind of a cool looking forest. But these are magic cards. So we'll even go show the back of a rare. Put that up there. Well, it's actually one of the special ones too for a rare. I don't think I've seen him yet. That squirrel. That's kind of cool looking. Squirrel Warrior, that's one of the mythic ones. Yep. I think the only times that they're not real is when they're like this from this specific company, which is like the tokens and maybe some of the lands that they liked or whatever. I did find another card in a different box that I had got, or in a different pack that I had gotten from one of the things that I opened that was actually a fake card that was something that someone had made. That's kind of cool. Squirrel Warlock. Yep. And again, I like these older borders. I'll put that up there since it's a uncommon. That's kind of a cool looking tree folk. I do have one of these in a different deck, but this is a borderless one. That's kind of cool. I like this card. This is one of the foils. It's a Dray Keeper. I like how the eyes kind of light up on the squirrels. It's pretty awesome. Thanks for joining me here today also for this reveal on the rest of this stuff that we ended up winning in an auction. It was pretty expensive too. I don't know if we ended up with a decent amount for what we paid for it or not. So there's a squirrel mob. Definitely like the squirrel mobs. Another squirrel warlock. I don't think I've seen this one before. It's pretty cool. Some reason they have some of their stuff upside down. Chatterstorm. There's that duo, and that one's a foil. Chitter Spitter. I do like this card. I have a couple in each of my squirrel decks that we've either gotten or built or whatever so far. I think there's one in the commander deck that we have. So goes down there. This is just so disgusting. Look at that. He's eating snake and he's got a human inside his tree. That's kind of cool looking. Mirkwood bats. Looks like that was from the Lord of the Rings. That's a really cool looking foil right there. I like these foil lands. And I like them. I like these too. They started doing these alternate full pictures during Unglued, I believe. The first not for play set many years ago. That was kind of making fun of different Magic sets and stuff like that. It had the BFM. That was a 2-card set you had to put together, and its casting cost was so ridiculous. But its power was absolutely nuts too. Rare right there. So if this deck is something that was just a commander deck that someone, I'm not sure if it's a commander deck that someone built or someone modified, or if it just came pre-built like this. If anybody knows, definitely let me know in the comments. I like some of these sorcery cards like that. One of my favorite combos was the Survival of the Fittest and Recurring Nightmares. It was one of my favorite combos in a green-black deck. So, I haven't seen this one either yet. And there's Chatterfang. I think I've got a couple of him in a couple of decks that I've gotten. It's a rare. Some more lands. One of the things I haven't seen yet in any of these green decks is I believe it's called Gaia's Blessing, which brings everything back from, or if it's milled off your deck, you end up shuffling your deck and your graveyard together. That was one of the things I like to put at least 3 in any of my decks. So, let's see, where is he was the one, I believe. Yeah. Just put this back in here. And then anyways, putting the Gaia's blessings in there in the decks with the survival of the fittest and the recurring nightmares always helped for putting a lot of milled cards from your deck back together. This looks like it might be two different decks right here. Or not, because they just have two different sleeve color covers. Yeah, it might be two different decks. We've got fish. One's foil and one's not. Then we got an otter. Those are those ones. Let's see if this is... That's kind of cool looking. Warren War Leader. Put the purple deck aside and go through this one. Few already rare lands. Just basic lands here. Hope everybody's having a good day and enjoying the nice weather outside that's starting to come through the area. Whoever was shuffling this deck wasn't paying attention to the orientation on them. Put these out of the way. Lift this up. So get these back into view. Sorry about that. A few rares there. That's kind of a cool looking card. I do like the full art cards and stuff like that. I think they're all kind of cool looking. Remember, this was something that was released many years ago. They had the regular counterspell, and then they started doing these cancels that were more cost more to do, cost more to cast. I believe these are just general decks. They're not actual commander decks for this box. A lot of these dual type lands that are rare in here. And there's a mythic right here. Another mythic. And a lot of rares in this this deck here. Not a whole lot of counter spells, mostly just like the... I mean, I haven't seen any regular counter spells from the base sets or anything like that. Alright, that's it for that deck. Put this all back together somewhat. I'll put that there. That was there. So a couple mythics out of that one. Put that here. Put these counters right here in the middle. And then go to this one. I'm not sure who's all ending up sending stuff like this to Goodwill. That's from Weatherlights. I definitely wouldn't be sending my stuff to Goodwill. There's a nice bird dragon. It's a mythic right there. Nice foil land. Another foil land there. It's kind of cool looking. It's a rare. I like these cards. I think those are out of like the Outlaws or something like that sets. There's a Planeswalker right there, mythic. Oh, what I was going to say earlier was another one of the combinations I liked was Solemn Simulacrum and the Skull Clamp. Using Skull Clamp on him. I don't actually play Lightning Bolt. Good old Lightning Bolts. Those were great. I don't actually play Type 2 or whatever the newest, whatever they call it nowadays. I play basic, you know. I only play with one of my friends recently, and we play basically whatever we have at the time. So these will go into being played with my friend and stuff like that and see how they play, how the decks play out and stuff. So it's kind of cool to see a old card from back when I used to play a long time ago. Get all these put back into here. So we got 3 mythics out of that one. And close that up. And then we'll go ahead and open this. The box is kind of damaged a little bit here and there, but it shouldn't affect, I don't think the cards are damaged at all. So just see what it looks like. I haven't actually seen any of these previously. This is an arena starter kit. Okay. An extra shell inside of it. There we go. And then starting off, there's 2 loose cards. And 2 packs. And they end up coming with 2 boxes too to put the decks into. Let's see what's in them. Someone else may have already opened these, but I have not actually opened them or seen what's all in them. So we'll just go through them. Those are all rares right there, and these were 2 rares, but I'm going to keep those 2 separate because they go to 2 different decks, I think. Whenever I used to play up to 2 color decks, but I guess the new set is geared more towards 3 color decks and such. When I played 2, I usually use about 15 to 16 lands, depending on what else I had in the deck. A lot of times it would be like there'd be Lotus Petals or the Mox Diamonds, or different elves that generated land, because I played a lot of green in everything that I played usually. And this is a bunch of land. A lot of the different places and stuff like that, they play, or they put so much, like 20 land or plus, more than that, into certain decks. So I never thought you really needed that. You didn't need like 20 land. It was usually just like 15 to 18 at the most. Four rares in that one. Looks like this is a black and green deck. Zombies. And some vampires. And black dragons, I guess. Wow, I haven't seen that one. That's kind of a cool looking squirrel. Almost reminds me of the Pestilence and Plague Rats a little bit. I used to love to build rats decks with that, and all the different rats and stuff like that we had at the time. Some extra lands, Evolving Wilds, and a bunch of basic lands for that. All right. That is about it for this opening. Appreciate you guys sticking with me for these. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, I would greatly appreciate it. And we'll be back again at another point in time with another opening or something. We've got multiple videos that we'll be doing in the future. Some are the Lego stuff, and then this is our most recent thing for Magic. So please like and subscribe and share if you wouldn't mind. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye.